So to start this build, I'll just quickly explain the materials I'll be using. So it's going to be 40 by 40 3mm aluminium, except for the cross members that are going to be holding the solar panel. What we got here is the plans that I have drawn up on CAD. We got all the measurements. Hopefully this is all right. I am trusting the computer. It is CAD, but obviously we'll figure it out once we start cutting everything. These should be pretty accurate measurements. So we got the overall here is 1500 for the overall length, and it is 1400 wide, which is just up here. Now, here we got an aluminium arm that's going to swing out, and that's going to have my kick-ass shower tent attached to it. So it's all going to work off a gas strut as well. You'll see that later on. But yeah, we got all the lengths, all the long points of everything to cut. So this bit here to the 45 is at 1311. This one is the 1201. So if you guys want to copy this plan, if you want to build something like this, there it is. So yeah, hopefully that plan is pretty clear for you. I don't know how to make it any more clearer, but I understand it, and obviously it's there if you just want to run over it. So yeah, let's get cutting. All right, so I've got everything cut and all sanded and deburred. I'm obviously just gonna, as I go, just use a wire brush to get that first oxide layer off the aluminium and wipe it all down with acetone. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it as I go because like handling and everything's gonna make it all dirty, and like I've laid it out on the ground just to check. So yeah, these are all the little risers, pretty much the little legs. These are all cut to 50mm. And I forgot to mention before, all the little tabs and all the like mounting feet and everything, they're all 6mm aluminium. So all the rest is 3mm apart from all the tabs. So I've just laid it out on the floor here, and I don't know if it was my cutting or whatever, or the measurements, but for some reason the width is 5mm shorter than what it's supposed to be. So it's now 1395 wide. So yeah, I don't know what happened there, if it was my cutting or it was the measurements, but anyway, I'm not fussed on it because it is just a roof rack. It's all going to work at the end of the day, and it doesn't really matter what width it is. Obviously it can't be too big and I don't want it too small, but I'm happy with like that 5mm tolerance, and yeah, it is what it is. I'll start to weld it up now. The hard bit is going to be my welding table that I've got is fairly small, so it's going to be a bit of a struggle to try and weld this up, but we'll see how we go. Righto, sorry I didn't film much of it, of tacking it together, because it ended up being a major pain in the bum. I don't have a big enough welding table to do it up here, so I ended up tacking it on the ground and I couldn't get it square, so ended up fiddling with it a little bit and then got it all square and everything. So this is pretty much what it's looking like. I cut the uni strut channels. So these are what's gonna hold my awning off the side of the canopy, and then the solar panel will fit in between here. I just gotta weld the tabs on the bottom for the solar panel to sit in, and then it will be like flush, so I'll still be able to use it as a roof rack. So anyway, I'll get welding all this up and we'll start putting the legs on and everything. much got that all welded out except for some of the internal corners on the uni strut. So I got to go do kid duty, but I'll be back tomorrow, which will be in 2 seconds for you guys. Obviously, I still have to drill out all the holes and everything for like where it's going to bolt through the canopy and stuff on those little plates. But yeah, we'll get welding all that together tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds. So this morning I've been pretty busy, so I thought I'd just go ahead and weld up all the little feet to the base plates and drill all the holes and everything. So as you can see, they're all welded up. So I've got 4 of them down there and also got all the brackets. So these are the brackets that's going to hang down on the arm that's going to hold the shower tent. And then these ones here will get welded up to the bottom of the rack to hold the solar panel. And then I got this arm here, and that's what those plates are going to get welded to. So yeah, I did also end up finishing all the welds off on this rack. As you can see, they're not bad. Definitely no pro, but I'm getting there. Every project that I do with Ali, I'm getting better. So yeah, it's all welded up, all the internal corners and everything, they're all welded up. Everything's good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center measurement for these feet, well, for the rack, and then measure from there out each end on both ends to mount these feet. Righto, so I've just finished up all the welding, I think. Now it's getting pretty late. It's about 6 o'clock. So what I did do was, so I've added this little tab here. Obviously it's flipped upside down at the moment, so that's going to support it when I'm driving. There's going to be a clip here to hold it together. And then I quickly welded on these brackets. That's what the shower tent is going to be mounted to. So some nice dime bags there for you. So there's one there as well. Now I did make a stuff up, so these mounts here that are going to have the bolt through it, I actually started to weld it over here. I pretty much all welded the bottom tab on, then flipped it upside down, well, up the right way, and realized that it was on the wrong way. Now I could have just dealt with it, but it was going to be annoying because my tap and everything is on the driver's side of the car, you know, and then all the shower was going to be on the passenger side. So that would have been annoying. We're going to have you'd then have water on the kitchen side of the canopy. So I ended up grinding that off and re-cutting and drilling another one to weld on the other side. So a bit of a setback, but you know, got it done in the end. Hopefully I'll get back on the weekend and get back into it. There's not much more to go. I'm pretty sure I just have to mount the strut and everything and mount the awning up, check everything fits on the car good, and then pretty much disassemble it ready for paint. So yeah, I'll see you in a sec. Righto, so jumping back into where we left off, obviously I've already mentioned that we've welded everything up. So everything's all done welding wise. Now today's mission is going to be mounting everything, all the awning, and all that, chucking it up onto the top of the canopy and making sure everything's gonna work. So putting it all together and then disassembling it and getting it ready for paint. Also, this is the gas strut that I'll be using. It's a custom size, so if you need any struts for something like this or whatever, you need new gas struts for your canopy, I used a company online called Precision Gas Struts. They make any size custom to any newtons that you need for obviously how much pressure it needs to open whatever you're opening. So yeah, this one is stainless steel because it's going to be out in the weather. So yeah, hit them up if you're in Queensland. I'm not sure exactly where they ship to. They were pretty local for me, so I was able to go pick it up myself. So yeah, let's flip this puppy upside down and get to mounting all that. Alright, so there you go, the gas strut is mounted. Now, for these mounting positions, I'm not going to explain how to mount them and everything. There's plenty of good videos on YouTube on how to mount, measure gas struts, and the company that I got this for actually has a design part on their website that tells you what gas strut you'll need. So all that you need to do is follow the steps in there and they'll tell you what to do. And another thing I bought was this little clip bracket. Now I wanted to go something stainless, so this bracket here is it's pretty much designed for boat use. So these are all the clips that hold down hatches and everything. So I bought one of them just offline. I think it was eBay that I got this, I'm not sure, can't remember. But yeah, so this pretty much unclips, so you just pull this tab up and then it unbolts or unfolds like that, and then you can pull your arm out. Now, I also had these laying around. I used to make chopping boards and everything, so these are little rubber feet that you can purchase off eBay as well. So that's just obviously gonna apply a bit of pressure when it's shut and keep it obviously not touching in the middle, so it's gonna leave a nice gap there. So yeah, that just works like that. So that folds up, everything's there. So if I undo this and fold that out, and then the arm will just swing out on that gas strut, and obviously the awning will be mounted there and there. So yeah, let's get this thing flipped up the other way again, and we'll mount the awning. Or I might put it on top of the car now before I mount the awning, just so it's not as awkward for me to lift it by myself, so it's not just back heavy. And so one last thing before we chuck it up on the canopy and make sure everything's good for clearance, I got to flip it upside down, put the solar panel in, mark the holes and drill them, ready for that to be bolted down. And then we'll chuck it up on the car, mount the awning and see if everything works. Alright, so there you have it. The solar panel fits in there nice. There's about a 3mm lip from the top of this alley down to the solar panel, so that's perfect. Gives it enough room if I put anything across the top, it's not going to hit the solar panel. So now that that is a good fit and I've drilled the holes, it's ready to be bolted in. I'll now mount it up there, well not mount it, but sit the rack up there. I'll take the solar panel out just for weight, but yeah, mount it up there, mount the shower awning on and test that the spare wheel and nothing's going to be in the way and it's all going to work good. Alright, so I've ran into the first problem. So the clip that I've mounted there, obviously I wanted it on the bottom because I didn't want anything on the top to, you know, hit stuff if I have it up there. Because if I run sheets up here, carrying it for work or anything, I obviously want them flat on that. So as I put it up here and went to unclip it, it actually hits on the canopy before it unlatches. So I can't swing this arm out. So funnily enough, I have these construction packers. They're just left over from work and they're actually perfect to fit the length of that. So I just need to trim them down to 50 mil wide. So they will go under that, just like that. So that'll pack it up. That 10 mil, it was all I needed to swing this arm out like that. So and then the arm will swing out, and that gives me a little bit more room for the awning to be mounted. So I'll chuck that back on and we'll mount this awning and see if it folds out. So yeah, as you can see, everything has worked out, other than those packers that I had to put under there. But luckily I had them laying around and thought of them. I had the little window shims first, and then I remembered that I had the packing shims that are bigger and don't have the little slot in them. So yeah, pretty stoked that I had them. I was planning on putting rubber in between the rack and the canopy just to stop any rubbing of the aluminium and scratching everything up. So, but those packers will kind of do the same job anyway. It is plastic, so it's going to be less scratchable, if that's a word, with them being in there. So yeah, I'll get to disassembling this now and we'll start prepping for the paint. Alright, so got the car out of here. The platform rack is on the bench. So we're gonna start by sanding everything down with 180. And then we gotta make sure everything is spotless clean for this. It is alley, it's not metal, so it's a bit more prep to paint it. Just gotta make sure everything's spotless clean. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so we got our rack and the arm all prepped up, sanded. It's been wax and grease removed like 3 times. And over here I got my gun set up. It is leaking a bit of air because it's a shitty fitting. But anyway, I'm running the M-Star Evo T, and the epoxy etch primer that I'm going to use is this brand. So yeah, it's a 4-to-1 mix. So yeah, I'm gonna mix that up, chuck it in the spray gun, and we'll get spraying. Righto, so it's been an entire week since I painted the platform, so it's cured enough now, so it is time for the exciting part of bolting it all together, putting all the strut and everything on, mounting the shower tent, and then at the end of the video I'm going to take it out to the bush and get a feel of what it's going to be like when we finally get to test it camping. So yeah, this is the platform all painted up, looking pretty. It's a bit dusty from sitting in here in the shed for a week, but it was hanging up. I just laid it down after a couple of days, so it wasn't just hanging in the middle of the shed. And these are the construction shims that I was talking about. So these are 10 mil, and they're just going to sit under there like that, and then that's going to pack it off the canopy just enough for this arm to swing out over the spare wheel and enough for the clip to unlatch from underneath. Alright, so I'll start by putting this arm together. So what I'm going to do is I was supposed to space these tabs out a little bit higher so I could get like a plastic washer in between them, but I kind of forgot about it. So, you know, it is a platform rack and it's going to get scratched up with putting stuff on the top. So whatever, I'm just going to put some of this red rubber grease because that's kind of all I got on me at the moment. So I'm just going to whack that on the top and the bottom just to give it some lubrication for when it's opening and closing, just so it's not just scratching, like chipping a heap of the paint off. Maybe make it a little bit easier. I don't know, there's probably something better to do, better to get for it than this stuff, but can't be bothered. It's a platform rack, is what it is. So yeah, just bang that on and slip this arm into its socket like a glove, and then bang the bolt on. Alright, so now that's done, we'll flippy it over and mount these struts and everything to the bottom. Righto, so as you can see, that is all now mounted up, everything except for the solar panel and the shower tent. So I'm just going to get that up in its lightest form and then chuck it up onto the top of the canopy, mark all the holes and drill them. Now I've been a little bit stitched up with my riv nuts. I told them the nut and bolt shop M10 riv nuts, and I don't know what they are, but they're not M10. I do have these ones, but they're not stainless, so I'll just chuck them in for now just to get the job done and replace them with them later. So yeah, as you can see, unclips, got our little rubber piece in there to stop it from going all the way in and rattling around, and she swings out on that gas strut. So yeah, let's get this up on top of the canopy, get it marked, get it all drilled out, riv nuts in, get it bolted up. Alright, so now that that's all marked up, get out here, you're gonna piss on my tyre, get out. As I was saying, now that that's all marked up, take it back off again, drill the holes, put the riv nuts in and bolt her up. Let's go. Alright, so last thing to do before it goes up is bolt this solar panel on. So I want to make sure the leads are going the right way. So leads come out of the canopy driver's side, which will mean that's that side. Alright, so I've made my way out to Glasshouse up some random track just to show you guys
how this shower tent sets up. Now, I don't know if this is a massive mistake because 4-drives and motorbikes just keep going past. So we'll try and smash this out. So as you guys can see, I have got the roof platform all bolted up and ready to go. The shower tent is on there, so we'll quickly just set it up and hopefully don't get disturbed and people think that I'm some weirdo just filming a video in the bush. All I have to do, can't really see me, undo that clip, swing it out, and then she just sits there. Looks pretty good. So unzip that, let it drop down, and then fold these arms out. Fold the arms out. Just like that. And then you just peg it down. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this video. So I hope you enjoyed this, something a little bit different. I had this one planned for a while. It's just, and had the alley sitting here for a while. It's just been super busy trying to catch up on stuff, paying bills, all that, working on weekends. But anyway, so yeah, hope you like this one. If you want to know anything else about the canopy or the tray, I have videos on both of them. I have videos on everything that I've done to this car. So this car was a stock Hilux when I bought it. It had a tub on it, no lift, no nothing, like not even a spotlight. So all the videos are on here. Some of them are pretty old, some of them might be a bit cringe, but they're still there. If they help you out, give them a thumbs up, or if any of these have helped you out, consider subscribing. That would mean the world to me. Also, I am going to change the name of my YouTube channel. The reason being is because there are way too many Oz Off-Road things now. There's like a store, there's a car, like somewhere local, there's a used car sales place that's called Oz Off-Road. All these places are just popping up, and there's also another YouTube channel called Oz Off-Road, and I just want something to be my own, not have to, or not, you know, having the trouble down the road of anyone accusing me of copying anyone. So if you think of a good YouTube name or anything, leave it in the comment section and I might consider maybe using it. I have got a couple already that I'm thinking about, but you know, everyone's got different ideas. So if you got a good one, leave a comment down below, and yeah. Also, let me know what other mods you want me to do to this car. I know there's not much else that I can do. I'd love to do a snorkel and a winch. They're obviously not going to be very long videos, but sometimes the short ones are good ones. So yeah, anyway, I'll catch you on the next one.